Welcome back to FPL Take the Hit. You're here with Mick and Joff. Joff, how you doing today, mate?
Good. Ready to rock and roll. Let's get this going.
Excellent, mate. Let's get some housekeeping out of the way first. First of all, this is our league code, our public league code. If you do want to join, there is no restrictions on it. Anyone can jump in. You don't even need to listen to us, but otherwise maybe you wouldn't know about it, but maybe you do. Who cares? If you want to get in there, join the league. It's going to be a massive league this season. We've already got over 200 or something now. It's up there. It's big.
We've never had a league like this. This is crazy.
Yeah, well, second season syndrome. People are getting involved. Take the hit. Get a name out there.
Buzz.
Buzz, that too. So yeah, if you do want to get involved, get in there. It's a open free league. Get involved.
There is prizes, by the way. Remember that.
Prizes. Oh yeah, there are prizes for this one. Yeah, some little prizes, but there are prizes involved definitely. And if you do want to support us, please head over to patreon.com/FPL Take the Hit. We've got all the tiers set up there. There's a nice little setup. We are trying to push that this season because we have 2 private leagues involved in that. The winner of the main private league gets a brand new jersey. So that's something we haven't actually spoken about yet in our preseason discussions. So yeah, head over to Patreon if you do want to support us. There's all different tiers. We appreciate all the support that we get.
Thank you.
It is amazing. All right, that is the housekeeping out of the way. We are going to get straight into this podcast/YouTube. So today we are doing predicted lineups and our predictions for the actual season going ahead. So we're going to start off with the top 10. And we're going to be looking at Liverpool first up. So let me just bring up Liverpool's predicted lineup. So first up, we've got Liverpool. You can see that on your screen now. This is our predicted lineup for Liverpool. I personally believe that Liverpool, they've got a really good chance of winning this season. I mean, they've won the Champions League. Props Klopp. Klopp has proven what he can do with this Liverpool team. The team's remained fairly unchanged. So I think the most important thing about this team is that front three and obviously the back four. I mean, the middle, not so much, but those front three and those back four, including Alisson though, obviously, they're just so important to this team. I mean, their preseason hasn't shown it yet. They have been a bit poor in preseason, but they have missed Alisson, A. B, they've missed the front three, which take away from so many attacks. You don't realize how big of a deal that is. If you got Mane, Firmino, and Salah running at you, you compare who they've been playing up front, which is like Origi and all these rejects that do not have the threat that they're
not rejects though. They're not rejects. They're decent players. It's just preseason's got a different edge to it though. They're a bit off the pace. It's just the standard preseason. I wouldn't read too much into that. Obviously it was the standard back four minus Alisson and minus the front three, but they'll get Alisson back. They'll get the front three back. Even if the front three are like 80%, because it doesn't seem like they're all going to be 100% fit, obviously, because they've been away from all their dirty international duties. But the midfield three, they're the ones that they need to work on. But I'm still surprised they didn't add to that lineup. Like that lineup, it's a solid team, but it's what we seen last season. Like they won the Champions League. Why wouldn't you go and buy someone big? I don't get it.
It is strange. I do agree with you there. It is strange. When Klopp was actually questioned on if, for example, they were going to bring Coutinho back, he said that it wasn't the season for them to be buying, spending that kind of money on a player, which I found strange considering they won the Champions League and literally you can pick from anywhere in the world and say, listen, you want to come play for the Champions League winners? And of course they're going to say yes. But the thing in this market, you got to pay big dollars, mate. Like they were going to have to buy back Coutinho for almost as much as they sold him, weren't they?
Yeah, something like that. But still, they've got that much money, man. I still don't get it because it's the same story. You're on Liverpool. I still think that City might eclipse a bit, only for the pure fact that they've got depth coming out of everywhere. They just empty a pocket and they got a bloody, they got a great player. They got Mahrez just chilling. They got Otamendi just chilling on the bench. So look at this team. Firmino, Salah, or Mane get injured. What happens?
True. There's a bit of a dilemma evolves when if that does end up happening. Yeah, but I just think we can't talk enough about the wing backs in this team. Obviously, Robertson and TAA are just immense.
Great player.
They're going to add so much value to the actual forwards. I mean, when you look at this team, though, FPL-wise, we don't care about the middle of the park. You're not even going to bother owning one of those central midfielders. You're not even going to think about them. But what we are interested in is the back line and the front three. So,
But if they were to get like a late signing for the midfield, like a late midfielder that was, say, to replace where Wijnaldum is, for example, put Wijnaldum back, take Milner or Henderson, whatever. But in that, like, just attacking midfield range, like it was like when Coutinho was there. He was so important. Like I remember, I once upon a time had 3 Liverpool midfielders back then. You know what I mean? In the game, like was Mane, Salah, and Coutinho, whatever it was. You know what I mean? And they did damage, man. Like Coutinho could be, if he was to come back, he probably won't. But I'm just saying, if that midfield place gets replaced with someone, which is what he should have done, I'm surprised that Klopp hasn't done it yet. But you'd never know. Anything's possible.
of course.
Still not over it.
But yeah, I mean, obviously we're big advocates of owning 3 Liverpool players this season. I think you'd be silly not to start your team with 3 Liverpool players. Obviously, we've shown our team drafts. We both own 3 Liverpool players at the moment. And that's definitely not going to change. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter about pre-season. It doesn't matter if there's a freaking whirlwind that takes out the Liverpool training camp. I don't care. I'm going to start with 3 Liverpool players because you'd be silly not to. I mean, there's obviously the noise on Twitter is going to get so many people with this pre-season Liverpool have had because I've started noticing a lot of rate my teams with only 1 Liverpool defender.
What?
And you're going to suffer for it. It's fine. Do it. I don't care. I mean, I care about you. I want you to have a good FPL season, so don't do it. But if you really want to do it and you want to fall into the hype and the preseason train, do it. But you'd be silly too because I don't know why you wouldn't own Robertson, VVD, or TAA. Depending on your price. Obviously, the 0.5 with VVD is great. In that frees up for something else. But obviously, our personal preferences are Robertson and TAA. So that's it. And then obviously one of the front 3. That one is up to you. I mean, Firmino's a cut price option, but I just don't think he gets anywhere close to Mane or Salah.
Nah, they don't. But I mean, essential Salah or have Mane as well. Like it's one of those. You need to start the season with one of those two. Have to, even though obviously leading up to the Community Shield, I'm pretty sure that all 3 of those front 3 are not going to start Community Shield. Like I'm 90% sure they won't. So in that respect, it's going to put a lot of doubt in a lot of people's heads. They'll be like, oh, Norwich, they'll probably take it easy. They might not even play. But you just stick them in anyway, even if one of them come off the bench. I think they're all going to start game week 1. I think that it'll happen. It's just they'll be a bit unfit, they'll be a bit rusty. But it's Liverpool at Anfield against the promoted team that's going to be nervous. They'll do the business. And you're wasting a transfer already if you don't start with one of those front 3 and one of them gets a double or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely risky business. All right then. Well, that is Liverpool done and dusted. All right, let's move on to who we think. Well, who I believe, and you sort of believe. I can see you kind of believe it too. I'm
telling you, if Liverpool signs someone, then I would consider them to really clinch the Premiership. But they just haven't signed anyone, man. Like they need one player, I think. Because look at this depth. Look what we're about to see, and there's this is a team of 8. You know what I mean?
Here it is. The team we've been talking about. It is Manchester City. So, as you can see there, we've got Sterling, Aguero, Bernardo Silva up top, David Silva, KDB in the middle, Fernandinho closely holding there behind. We do think Zinchenko's going to get the spot on the left to start with.
You sure?
Laporte and Stones as playing as centre-backs, Walker on the right. Now, I must say about the City defence, obviously Ederson in goal. With the City defence, the only one who is nailed 110% is Laporte. The rest of them, you got to take it into account that Pep's going to do his thing and he's going to be playing around. And you just don't know who's going to start, especially because Zinchenko... Sorry?
I was saying, despite Walker, I mean, you think that Walker should get a lot of minutes this season at the right back.
Yeah, you do think that. But then again, you've got Pep Guardiola doing what Pep Guardiola does.
Yeah, true. But look, I think that obviously Laporte's nailed, and then it'd be Walker, Zinchenko, Stones. I think that Stones could be a decent option at 5.5. By the way, I think that especially his lack of love for Otamendi last season, Pep. So
you're right.
The next guy.
I agree with you. I can't see Stones not getting the nod alongside Laporte and becoming that partnership being the partnership for the season.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Otamendi will come in to rotate around and rest when they need a rest. But I agree. I think that could be the partnership to start the season definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. And then obviously moving into the midfield, Fernandinho, defensive mid-rock. You probably wouldn't consider him, to be honest. But, obviously the next two, I think David Silva and Kevin De Bruyne, I think they definitely both could be very useful early. Obviously, rotation comes to mind. Obviously, peptation, we love that, and we don't. Why does he do it for? But anyway, I think that David Silva at 7.5 and obviously Kevin De Bruyne 9.5. They're both great options, potential options. They could really explode. Especially Community Shield is just one of those bloody games. Say, for example, David Silva scores the first goal, and then goes on to get an assist, and all of a sudden, 7.5 bargain for City. He's going to play every single minute. He won't.
Oh man, do not say that. Like I'm looking forward to the Community Shield massively, even though I've got a massive day that day. I've got a pub crawl that day, so I'm going to be an absolute wreck watching that game. But at the same time, I'm super scared because I'm such a sucker for the Community Shield, man. It literally it determines my game week 1 team massively. It's literally for me, but for me, it's not one of. It is the only preseason game that's I actually can really take into consideration. The rest of it, I look at it and I'll see what they're doing, see the starting players, and who's. But preseason form, I don't really rate it. But that's when I think the real season form starts. Is Community Shield. They take it seriously. They play as close to their starting 11 as you're going to see, and they can't bloody change their whole squad at halftime.
Yeah, exactly. It's a cup. It's any real coach wants to win any cup that's on offer. You know what I mean? Like it's like the ICC Champions Trophy or whatever. I'm sure if they went to the final, they take it seriously. Like I watched a few of those ICC friendlies, by the way, and a lot of those teams took it very seriously. Did you see that bloody even Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid 7-3? Like they were like as in like
didn't Costa get 4 goals and a red card?
Like in a red card. Like they like. Atletico wanted blood, man. Like they took it super seriously. Like they wanted to just punish him, and they did. Yeah. It was fun, but it's just funny. Like the Community Shield, they both want it. They both are hungry for it, and that's why you see the truth comes out, which who they're really looking at game week 1, starting teams.
I'm super scared that Aguero comes out and has an absolute cracker bloody Community Shield, and then I've got to consider him for my team. That's what I'm scared of. I hope that Sterling does nothing. KDB looks great, gets goal assist. Aguero maybe gets 1 goal or something. That way I can ditch Sterling, bring KDB in, and just be happy with it. That's what I want. I want the perfect storm. Ain't gonna happen, but I can dream. Can't I?
Oh, you can dream. Dream.
I'm gonna dream. Why not? Dare to dream, mate.
I'm moving forward to the front line because Bernardo. I didn't want to put Bernardo right there, to be honest. I was thinking, Sane should be the guy that we should have there, but I feel like, Pep just does his usual. He just plays it safe in the respect. Bernardo is his safe, winger. I don't know why he does. Why did he drop off Sane? Like he's so secretive and so kind of just keeps it down that we never knew what happened there. All of a sudden, I think we called it on last year's pod that he doesn't like Sane's haircut. All of a sudden, he clicked his finger like. Cut that afro. I've had enough. You've had half a season with it. You know what I mean? Like, what was it?
I don't know, man. He plays his cards super close to his chest, and all of a sudden, Sane was out of the team. All right when everyone was triple captaining him for the double game.
God. Why did you bring that up?
You can't bring it up, man.
I didn't do it, but it hurt me for them.
God, it cut so deep. It cut so many players so deep. But, I mean, it's tough to consider Sane. I mean, I love him. I love him as a player. He's a great player. He should be nailed in that team. Guaranteed. But you just, obviously he's not. Pep does not rate him, clearly. Even though he rants about him and raves about him, but I think he's just trying to push his price up so that he can sell him to Bayern or something. Because that's where they're heavily linked with. Because he doesn't need him, obviously. Bernardo, he rates Bernardo over Sane, which is unfortunate. So that's who he plays.
Yeah, it's a different type of player. I think he doesn't rate him more. I think he rates him as more of a complete, like a right winger. In the respect that Bernardo tracks back, Bernardo does all the better passer than Sane as well. Obviously, Sane is just, he's perfect off the bench. Like Sane is the ultimate super sub. I mean, there's not many. They don't come much better than that. Let's be honest, far out. Besides probably Mahrez, you know what I mean? Like, ultimate. But anyway, a bit risky. I mean, look, you never know. The Community Shield might tell that story. Who knows? But Aguero, obviously Sterling up front as well. Those two names are massive. Both were 12. Both expected to score 200 plus points this season.
Yep.
it's just 50-50. Do whatever you guys want, but yeah.
Yeah, I think owning one of those three is very important. Either owning Sterling, KDB, or Aguero is super important in this team. I'm going into the season with definitely two of these players, two City. I would love to own a third. I'd love to sneak Edison in there somehow. A lot of actually teams on Twitter I've started noticing after the last City game, they've got KDB and Sterling in their midfield. Now it is doable. It does hamstring a bit of the rest of the team.
20% of your funds.
Sorry?
20% of your funds there.
Yeah, it's a lot of money involved in that. And but man, I think KDB is going to be one of the value plays of the season. I really do.
He could be absolutely huge this season.
But then at the same time, I think Sterling's going to have an absolute cracker as well. So I'm so on a knife edge with these two. I can't.
Stop. Let's just wait for the Community Shield. That's okay. Enough.
Right.
You could talk about. I reckon you could talk about Manchester City for like. I'm surprised you didn't put him as your top spot. You could talk about him. We could be here for like 5 hours. No shit. I'm serious. I know this, man. I don't know why you're obsessed with them.
I just the last season, man, I watched a lot of City and I watched a lot of Liverpool because obviously you want to know who to look for as the best. They were head and shoulders above the rest of the league.
Oh, cool.
So when I see teams with, say for example, no City and one or two Liverpool players, I'm just thinking, are you crazy? Or how can you just shelf the fact that last season, City and Liverpool were head and shoulders above the rest of the league. Goals, assists, defensive points, clean sheets. It was just night and day, absolute night and day. So you cannot neglect that fact, and you've got to go into this season starting with a plethora of Liverpool and City players. Very simple.
Fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. I think we should move forward anyway.
Okay.
Let's move on to the third position.
All right, so we've got my boys in blue. The Chelsea boys, I believe we are going to finish third, if not first. Lampard's first season. Now, if it was Lampard's maybe his second, third season, if he gets there, maybe we'll do something a bit better. But the team, man, as much as we've got a transfer embargo hanging over our heads, man, the team that he's going to have at his disposal, the squad is going to be amazing.
Look, are you saying amazing is probably a bit of a step too far for me? Like, I feel like Chelsea could finish third. I'm not sold on that either, to be honest. I feel like it could maybe Tottenham for me, but anyway, we'll go with Chelsea in third here anyway. And I feel like they've got the right man. They really they found the right guy for this task, because this is a task what he's got. He's only got Pulisic that he signed, basically. Obviously, Kovacic was already there, but whatever. But yeah, so Pulisic is the only player that he signed, so the only fresh face in that team besides all the impending loan arrivals, which is great for Frank, because Frank's young. Frank's gonna, he'd be able to mold his fine tune his squad in preseason and have them ready for game week 1. And obviously, I feel like he can get some cohesion. It's a younger team, and there's not much pressure. I think that's massive. That is huge for Frank.
Yeah, so, definitely. I'll just run through the team quickly. So we've got Pulisic up on the left, Abraham leading the line, Willian on the right. And then in the middle, we've got a middle three of Kante, Jorginho holding up, and Barkley just in behind the striker. And then we've got one of the standard back four. So we've got Alonso playing on the left. We've got Luiz and Azpilicueta playing on the right. And then we've got Christensen, who could be Zuma. Frank has spoken about Zuma, so one of them will get the nod alongside Luiz, definitely. And then we've got obviously Kepa in goal. So
and Kepa managing as well, yeah?
And Kepa, he's probably going to be assistant manager to Frank. Yeah. I don't think Frank's announced that yet, but he'll probably announce it in the coming days. So, you look at that team already, you can see, obviously I am biased. We all know that. Anyone who listens to me knows I'm biased towards Chelsea. But still, I like that team. I think that, Frank's going to mould Barkley into Frank Lampard Jr.
Yeah, we like that. 6 million deal potentially.
That's it. I'm hoping he gets the nod. But he's got a lot of competition there, you got Mason Mount has been making waves in preseason.
Yeah, he's banging on the door as well, isn't he?
Absolutely. And same with Abraham. Abraham's going to have competition from Batshuayi and Giroud all season. So it's it is a really unsettled lineup. For me, I'm even being a Chelsea fan, being super biased, I'm probably not going to start the season with a Chelsea player, which it kills me. It really does. I really want to own one of these boys, one of my boys. But the more I look at it, sorry.
No, it's the right thing to do. You just got to be patient. You got to wait.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the hardest thing for me. But I know FPL wise, it's the right thing to do. Is just to wait on this team. And the only thing you probably could do if you really wanted to, which I think a lot of it is flying under the radar at the moment, is a Chelsea defender. If you want to go for Luiz as Piliqueta or Alonso, even Kepa in goal, our fixtures are pretty good. If you look at our fixtures, it is a very good first 6 or 7 games. So you can look at one of our defenders.
Is Alonso nailed? Is he definitely not Emerson? Is it definitely Alonso?
Well, I think so. I think Alonso gets the nod ahead of Emerson for the start of the season. Obviously, he's been involved in the team a lot more than Emerson has. So Frank's got to bring into context as well. And he's seen a lot of preseason minutes. So has Emerson. But then again, that is a toss-up. So if you really wanted to nail Chelsea defender, you're looking at Luiz and Azpilicueta. Mainly, I'd go for Azpilicueta. He's like 100,000% nailed. That guy is
he's the captain. I mean, shit.
Yeah, that's it.
Man, if Alonso was guaranteed left back, obviously, I've dabbled in Alonso's. Look at my hair. My hair's like his hair. I love his hair. Yeah. No, you know what I mean? Like, Alonso is just freakish, man. He can take free kicks as well. He gallops forward just crazily. Obviously, defensively, he lacks a little bit, obviously, but attacking returns, man. That's all you want from your defense, man. You don't care how he defends.
True. I mean, this is the team. Obviously, I am a Chelsea supporter, so I watch all the games. I make sure that I'm on the top of all the Chelsea news. So if you do keep following us, listening to us over the season, one of my main focuses is this team. I will be able to tell you who's going to be playing, who to look out for, who's looking good. Because, I mean, one of the things that we kind of, even casuals or people that don't get time to watch games, one of the things you neglect is watching a full 90 minutes of a certain team. You do get to see a lot of things that happen, on and off the ball game. So I'm going to be watching Chelsea very closely this season. And I'm going to be obviously gunning to put one of these players in my team as soon as possible, probably as soon as game week 2.
Yeah, fair enough. And I feel like we should touch on maybe Kante and Jorginho. Jorginho may be on pens, but I'd avoid, just wait to see if he's actually on pens because he won't do anything most likely. Same as Kante. A lot of people own him, both worth 5. I'd probably avoid owning them. They'd be sitting a bit deeper. Yes, I mean, look, I've been looking at Barkley. To be honest, at 6 million, I think he's good value. I think that if Frank gives him a chance to be Frank, because he's number 8 as well. Yeah, I think it could be pretty special, box to box. He's got an outside the box shot on him as well. He loves a long ranger.
True.
So in the midfield, obviously, Barkley, and then Pedro and Willian could be. Obviously, it looks like they're going to battle for position, like you were saying. And they could be decent value as well. It is a wait and see. But, so I think we probably should talk about Tammy as well, just real quick. Tammy or Giroud, again, a wait and see. It could be great value as well. If one of them is like nailed on to start with this Chelsea team for so cheap, you know what I mean? 7 million, so cheap.
That's the thing. That's the thing with Chelsea. I mean, there's no player priced over 7.5. Pulisic is our most expensive player. I'm not even thinking about Pulisic. I think he could be fine, but he's going to need time. Like any other player, he needs time to settle in the Premier League. He'll need at least a half season. Give him 17, 18 games. Let him settle. He doesn't know the league. He doesn't know the team. So he's going to take time to adapt to the actual, the pace and everything of the league.
Fair. That's fair.
But Tammy's huge. Tammy and Barkley. I mean, Tammy at 7 million is good. I would have preferred him a bit cheaper. Barkley, like you said, if he starts playing in behind the striker, man, and Barkley scored a free kick in preseason as well. Obviously, Barkley was a trap last season. He caught a lot of players out in the bandwagon. Time happened. I somehow avoided that, even though I don't know how, but I did.
Yeah.
So anyway,
we basically episode on Barkley last season.
We did.
and you avoided him. I don't know how.
Yep, I avoided that one indeed. All right, let's move on to our 4th position.
Who's making the Champions League, Mick?
All right, so one of my, favourite teams other than Chelsea. Nah, I'm just kidding. I don't really like the Spurs. It's the Spurs!
It's the most opposite thing you ever could think of right there.
Let me just run through the team real quick. So we've got Kane and Moura up front. Eriksen, Ali, and Sissoko across the middle. Ndombele holding up the midfield, if that's how you pronounce his name. I'm hopeful it is.
Ndombele.
Davies at the left back, Vertonghen, Alderweireld, either Walker-Peters or Aurea. Even with Davies, it's Davies or Rose.
Yeah.
And then Loris in goal.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, looks like Rose is going to leave. By the time people might even watch this, Rose might already have left. I still can't believe Trippier went to Atletico Madrid. That's insane, you know, like, of all teams anyway.
It is strange.
Yeah, but the defense, I mean, same as Alderweireld. He's linked with United and Roma, actually, so he still might leave as well if Maguire doesn't end up going to United. But who knows? Who knows what happens across their back four anyway? I mean, you know, Vertonghen's settled and Loris is settled as well. If Davies is nailed on to be left back, I will have to definitely look at Davies. Davies, when he was nailed on in the past, he was great. 5.5 is not bad as well.
They do come in priced really well, the Spurs defense this season. 5.5. I like a blanket 5.5 across the defense. That way you can jump in and out on any one of their plays if you choose to. It's underrated how price points work in FPL. Really, I mean, it's like, for example, if you look at someone like Kane. If you jump on Kane, if Kane misfires in August like he usually does, you can quickly, as long as you don't miss a price rise for Aubameyang, you can quickly just switch to Aubameyang for 11 million, same price. It's just, I like being in the position where I can have any player in the game that I want within 2 moves. If I have to take a hit to bring someone in, as long as I can do that, that's good. That's where you want to kind of get your price points at. And Spurs are a good team for that. Kane at 11 million, I think is good. Moura even at 7.5 is good. Eriksen, I love Eriksen, but 9 million, I think he's a bit pricey, especially when you can have KDB for 0.5 more. And obviously, there's all this doubt. He could be going to Madrid. Who knows? That could be happening very soon.
Yeah, but I mean, look across that midfield though. We're talking midfield. Son's not in this lineup, but Son is someone that I am definitely looking at. I'm waiting for him to obviously, when he be obviously not suspended, he's definitely a great option. There's no doubt. We know what he did last year. Even with Kane back in the lineup, he's still valuable, man. Those two together can be, great. They can be a great source of goals. They can actually score goals this season if they both stay, fit and on the park. Obviously no Asian Cup duties and no injuries for Kane.
But the problem with Son is his price. You're going to pay 9.5 million for Son.
It is. He's expensive. He's crazy expensive. I get that. I was so pissed off about Son's price as well. I'm so pissed off about Spurs' price. Like if Eriksen was 8, if Son was say 8.5, you're looking at a bit. It's a bit of a different looking team. You actually can consider them. They definitely got that wrong. There's no question about that. But then they priced Kane at 11, so...
that's the only price besides their defense, the only price in the team that I like is Kane's. So, I mean, obviously, Moura, I don't really rate him too much. 7.5 is a good price for a Spurs player that will start pretty much like we predict up front, close to Kane.
But he should start until Son. Will he start when Son's back?
Exactly. Obviously, that rotation will definitely happen once Son comes back.
Yeah, so I know it's Spurs are a bit of a shame for me. Like there's just so much opportunity. There's such a window that FPL Towers could have done here, but they missed the boat. I feel like they missed the boat because I'm not even looking at any Spurs players besides obviously my boy Harry Kane.
That's pretty much the only one you can look at. I think Kane and Moura though. I mean, a lot of people do like Moura. There is some Moura love out there, and we saw what he could do last season. Like he did score that hat trick, and he had a late little flurry at the end there.
It's not about that though. It's about put him in for game week 1 if you want to take him out straight away because he might not even play game week 2, 3, 4. You know what I mean? He might not come off the bench. He will come off the bench. He's going to get minutes off the bench. But do you want to have what is he? 7.5? Yeah.
7.5.
You want to have a starting. He's obviously going to be in your 11 every week. You're not going to bench him. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it's a bit risky. Moura's a bit of a trap for me anyway. Like all of a sudden, Son's back in the lineup, and you're like, shit. What do I do now?
I've toyed with having Moura as one of my mid-price midfielders, but then it always creeps back into my mind that Sonny Boy's not far off. As soon as Sonny Boy comes back in, all of a sudden that midfield gets shaken up.
Yeah, exactly. So, I'd say Spurs in 4th place, make Champions League. Well done. Good on you for embracing that as a Chelsea fan.
Obviously, Ndombele and Sissoko, we're not looking at them, but someone you could look at is Mr. Ali.
Yeah, he's not a bad idea, yeah, but still too expensive. I honestly,
8.5 for Ali. Really? What were they thinking?
yeah, yeah. Oh, look, they need for us to consider any Spurs assets. They need to hit the ground running. They need to score some goals. They need to convince us.
Yeah. Yep, definitely. They could do that against Aston Villa. Just saying.
Oh, of course, definitely. First game week could be impressive. Really. But again, it's like a trap. It's like a trap game. They impress us. We're like, oh, bring him in, bring him in. Everything goes up 0.2. And all of a sudden, yeah. So.
All right. Let's move on to fifth place, who we believe will finish in fifth. It's a little bit controversial here. We are going to go with Manchester United for that first Europa spot.
Controversial?
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, it's a toss-up between them and Arsenal.
How's it controversial?
Huh? It's controversial only because I don't know, man. I don't like either of these teams. I think United were patchy last season. Arsenal are just the patchiest team going round, especially with Emery in charge. So I mean, this team obviously it's tough. Maguire is not the best defender. Even if they do sign him, I mean, Wan-Bissaka is going to do absolute beats down that right wing. Nothing's going to get down that right wing. We've seen what he can do in preseason. We saw what he could do last season. The guy is an absolute tackle machine. So I really rate Wan-Bissaka. I think that signing was amazing. The defense will be shorn up a little bit. Maybe, but I mean, Rashford.
I think 100%. I think that defense definitely gets shorn up, especially if Maguire does get signed, because it's still not official yet. As of today. So if Maguire gets signed, him with Lindelof, Shaw, and Bissaka, that's a solid team. And you're forgetting that they've got De Gea, man. They just had a horrible season last year because they were all over the place. They had a new coach, and then all of a sudden OGS just didn't get it working at that end of the period, end of the season. But I think United could be great. I think they've got great players. Look at that lineup. The teams are good. It's very solid. Obviously, if Lukaku does end up leaving, they might get someone else anyway. But there's still a couple of weeks to see. I'm sure there'll be one or two big moves.
All right. Well, anyway, I'll run through the lineup. So we've got Rashford leading the line. We've got Marshall on the left. We've got the new signing James on the right. And then our midfield three of Lingard, Pogba, and Matic. Then we've got Shaw on the left. We've got either Smalling or Maguire, the first centre-back position. Lindelof on the other one. Obviously, Wan-Bissaka holding down the right. And obviously, De Gea in goal. So it's a pretty standard formation, standard lineup. Obviously, the big unknown is Mr. Alexis Sanchez. If he gets back in there somehow, he would be an absolute steal at 7 million if he can reclaim any sort of form. But beyond that, I'm not going to touch United to begin with. I've seen a lot of drafts with Wan-Bissaka in there, 5-5. I think he's someone to look at, sure. I don't trust this United defense. I don't trust this United team, to be honest. So I'm going to avoid them for now. But I mean, if you really want to take a gamble, you could go with Rashford up top, 8.5 million. I think he's decent value, coming in under sub 9 million. But around that price point, I think Vardy's probably a better option at 9 million.
Yeah, I think that's true as well. I think Rashford could be an option as well. I think United is much a wait and see team as well. You look at that team. I don't want to put any of those players in either, to be honest. But it's one of those wait and sees. Imagine they could start the season guns blazing, and obviously the defense could be, very, very solid. You know what I mean? As long as they start keeping some clean sheets, they get a bit of respect. Because once they start rolling at home, they're going to be, you got the hay and goal at the end of the day. You know what I mean? So they've got a really good chance. Obviously, Bissaka, he's going to shore up the right side, and the defense is solid. Lindelof looked great under OGS as well. He looks like he's regained reclaimed confidence and composure. So if they sign Maguire, I feel like they're going to be good this year. I feel like they're due to come back. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, true. Well, they're making the right signings. They've got a nice unit up top, so it's good to see them making defensive signings like Maguire and Wan-Bissaka to make that defense a bit more strong.
I just want to quickly touch on the midfield in the respect of Lingard and Pogba. I think if Pogba plays deep, you're obviously less inclined to own him. I feel like he could be a really good option though.
On penalties.
Exactly. Definitely on pens. United seem to be the most popular penalty kind of team going around. They just always seem to get pens. And obviously Lingard's someone that he's just not quite there, is he? He's just never really been as reliable as you want someone to be like that. So I wouldn't really consider Lingard.
He's all over Instagram though. You can check out Jay Lings on Instagram. Loves that.
I'm sure he's doing all crazy shit, man. He loves it. He loves that. But yes, obviously, Pogba and Marshall. Marshall could be a good option as well. United's another wait and see team. See what happens early days. But I've definitely got my eye on Pogba. I'm spewing that he's not going to be playing behind the striker, most likely. If he does, I'll heavily consider it.
If Marshall gets minutes, 7.5 million. That's a nice price tag for Marshall.
Oh, so great.
You're right, Marshall. I like Marshall. I like Rashford. I even like Pogba, 8.5 million. But I'm not touching United until I can see what they can do, with this new back line and see what happens.
Yep, I like that.
All right, well, that brings us to sixth position in the league, who we believe is going to be Mr. Count Emery's Arsenal.
Hey, it could be. It could be. They could even drop lower if they don't get their act together. But hey, I feel like if they click, then you never know. But look, we'll hit them off with the lineup. So starting up front, obviously we were expecting Lacazette to start as the focal point. I think he's got a bit of an injury cloud, but it's still 2 weeks. I feel like he probably should still start. If not, obviously Aubameyang will shift in, but we've got Aubameyang on the wing and Ceballos. So yeah, this guy here, I watched some under 21 action for Spain. Obviously Italia. And this guy killed us. This guy scored a worldie against the Italian under 21s. He was amazing as well. He was just dynamic on the wing there. So I feel like if he starts, I think he's 5.5. Cheap.
Sure.
Very cheap.
Sure.
But sure. No, I'm not even considering him. No.
I'm not considering any Arsenal players ever. Continue.
Moving on to the midfield, so Torreira, Ozil, and Xhaka. I mean, Ozil is probably the only one you want to look at there if he gets consistent minutes. You don't know what's going to happen. We don't even know if that's the right bloody midfield three. Let's be honest. Probably Xhaka will start, but who knows what Emery's going to do.
I remember Xhaka trapped everyone last season when he scored a free kick in the first game week. Everyone's like, oh my God, Xhaka is so cheap, bring him in. And I think that's like the only goal he scored all season.
Xhaka, he's just a hacker. But anyway. So
actually, Xhaka scored 4 goals last season. I did not know that.
Yeah, he scores some crackers. All of his goals are always crackers. He loves it. But the back four, Mustafi, Socrates, centre backs. Maitland-Niles could be someone to look at, maybe. Probably not.
I wish Arsenal could defend, because if they could defend, I think Leno's a great buy at 5 million as a goalkeeper.
Oh, he's cheap. Yeah, Leno. But obviously Kolasinac, man. Kolasinac is someone that last season I got burned because he was like a steam train on that left chair. But all of a sudden, he didn't start consistently. He killed me. Bloody Emery. Oh, Arsenal players, man. I don't trust him.
But we know that Arsenal can't defend. They haven't increased their defensive aptitude at all this season. So I can still see Arsenal conceding heavily again next season. So I'm not going anywhere near the defense.
Well, they've brought back Callum Chambers, so
Oh, that's going to make all the difference, Joff. Thank you for that insightful information.
Oh shit! And who else? They link with that other guy as well. Who's the guy up front?
Pepe, is it? Pepe?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the little fucker. He's Ivory Coast guy. He's a gun, man. I haven't seen much of him live, but I've seen like a bit of highlights and stuff, and he looks good.
But it's the standard Arsenal signing where they need defence. They're crying out. They're just, But what do? They buy a flashy friggin' striker. It's ridiculous. I don't know who's in. Whoever is in charge of the Arsenal transfers. He's just some cowboy. Just sitting there firing at the hip, firing off. Doesn't give a shit what's behind him. Doesn't care about his defence. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
What do? They sit around like a boardroom table and like, all right, so we need defenders. We need defense. We need to shore up that defense. But let's sign a striker. Let's just sign a striker.
That's it. The best form of defense? Offense! Strikers.
Crazy. And then link with Zaha as well, yeah?
Yeah, I think everyone's linked with Zaha. Though.
So
The heavy link with... Did you hear the latest on Zaha?
No.
Everton, 55 million, yeah. But that
Yeah.
got rejected. So now they offered 55 million plus Tosin and McCarthy.
Oh, what?
Massive, mate.
Oh,
Massive. I don't know
insane.
why Zaha's demanding this kind of money for him. But at the same time, I want him to go to Everton. Because all of a sudden, Sigurdsson is such a better value pick if Zaha goes there. Because Sigurdsson's going to get like 20, 30 penalties.
2030, shit. There's going to be record pens this year. It's just going to happen. But yeah, man, imagine Zaha would see. That'd be, yeah, you're right. That'd be crazy. But
anyway, we're talking about Arsenal or lack of Arsenal assets that you can even think about.
Yeah, when you look at Aubameyang's someone you got to look at.
The only player that I would even remotely consider is Aubameyang.
He got the golden boot last year. Yeah, he was one of the three, and he's someone that didn't even really, he didn't play every minute. He didn't, he played a lot. Like he got slaved away, but he still wasn't, as he didn't play as many minutes as Salah and Mane. I'm sure of that. But yeah, I don't know.
He played 2,700 minutes, so that's decent minutes. But you're right, it's not great.
Yeah, off 3,400, which is it's still he played as many minutes as Sterling. But yeah, golden boot. If he used to play like infinite minutes, he'd be great.
Well, the thing is, start of the season, you can definitely look at Aubameyang, I think, as an option, only because he will be playing most games, if not all the games, up until Europa starts again. But like last season, Emery's probably going to, opt towards Europa if they are in the later stages of it. And he's going to be playing Aubameyang, mainly towards Europa and maybe not so much in the league because they're probably going to be outside the top 4 at that point anyway.
Look, that's your fortune telling for next year. Don't factor that in right now. If you're looking at the start of the season till the first wild card, and I think Aubameyang, again, he's going to start every game, especially if Lacazette doesn't play any games. He'll start as a focal point. I feel like the only detriment to Aubameyang is that he's not on penalties. I'm like 90% sure that Lacazette will be taking the penalties. I watched a preseason game the other day, and Lacazette took it, hit both posts. It was crazy pen, nice one. But yeah, that's the only thing that he lacks.
Fair enough. Well, Laka. I tried Laka out last season. I didn't like it. It made me feel dirty. I didn't actually own Aubameyang at all last season, so I just didn't like that price point. I had Aguero at that price point, and I wasn't moving Aguero anywhere. But obviously Aubameyang is worth the extra money over Lacazette easily. And he's going to, the guy's a proven goal scorer. He's going to definitely score goals this season. So I can't really fault anyone that starts with him in their Game Week 1 team.
Yeah, fair enough. I reckon that basically rounds up Arsenal,
Yeah, all right, cool. Thank you, everybody, for watching and listening to our team predicted lineups and also our predicted finishes for next season. Stay tuned for part 2 coming out very, very soon. Before we go, please, if you do want to support us, head over to Patreon. We are really pushing this league. We do want everyone to get involved with the Squad League, which is a league that all you have to do is make a starting 11, make a starting 15, and there's no substitutes, no transfers. Only substitutes, wildcards, and chips are allowed in that league. But that is a Patreon-only league, so if you do want to sign up, please head over to our Patreon page. And you can also find us on Twitter and Instagram if you want to hit us up on there. But other than that, Joff, we are FPL Take the Hit. Stay positive.
Keep chasing those green arrows, guys. And please like and subscribe if you like this.
Absolutely. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel and subscribe to our podcast channel as well.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys.